Part 2 of the Chevy Meth Head truck. Now, I've used this truck a lot and it has been worth its weight in gold. I love this truck, even though I'm going to sell it. Now let's continue on with the steering wheel. After you remove the steering wheel, there's this little dust shield thing, collar. Just fucking tear it off of there. It doesn't do anything. And then inside you're going to see this little pin here, and that's what stops your steering wheel from moving. You can push it in, and then you can move your steering wheel. You JB weld it in. I don't give a shit, but right now I don't care. I'm going to leave it how it is because we're putting in a new ignition and it's going to work properly. I was just saying, if you don't want to ever put a new ignition in, make sure you go ahead and fucking deal with that thing. And then you can just go ahead and start it with your screwdriver anytime you want and never have a lock steering column. Next step is, there is a ring. You see this? It's like a split ring here. We got to somehow pry it apart and pick it out of there, and then we could pull this assembly out. That's what's stopping us right now. After you get that fucking C-clip thing off of there, that's why I'm a firm believer why Chevy rear ends always fucking fail, because they use these goddamn chintzy ass C-clips. This one put up a fight. They should have put that one in the rear end. Anyways, there's a spring here and it'll shoot it off into your fucking face. Your smiling teeth right there, right? Ah, my fucking dentures. Then there's 3 screws. You got one up here, which you gotta you gotta turn the turn signal to get to it, kinda. There's another one that's easy access down in here, and another one that was right here. Also, you gotta take out the hazard puller. This bullshit. And it's just a Phillips screw. And it's located, underneath there where it hits you in the pecker. So then once you get that off of there, all this shit should just come out, right? All this shit should just like fall out of there. Well, I don't know how the fuck you get it out of there. I gotta look at it some more. Maybe this unscrews. I don't know. Take a look. Gotta remove this piece of shit. I was hoping I didn't have to. It connects in here, runs off of like a lobe type mechanism thing, a little rocker. Anyways, I don't think I'll ever be able to get it back in the way it's supposed to go. We'll find out. But now that I got it pulled out, now that it is hooked with wires down in there, and there's enough slack to pull it out like this. That's all I need so that I can get to these little set screws. And once I pull those, I believe this whole thing should slide out. I believe that it should slide out. Take your new $8 ignition and slap it on in. So after you remove this screw, one that's just right there, this long one with the pin, you won't know it's a long one until you get it out. But it's just right in there. This motherfucking shit just comes right out. Just falls out. Now you can see the damage I did to it. But it worked, I shoved a screwdriver in there and beat the fuck out of it. And then when I got it home, I ran the drill in it just a touch more, just so I didn't have to worry about anything catching. So I could start it a little easier. But now we don't need it. So let's go ahead and put it all back together in reverse so that I can start using this truck and get it for sale too. Starting to paint the truck silver, and this is how I'm doing it right here with a roller and pan. And if you're asking why there's noise in the background, it's because they hired some fucking landscapers to do a shit job and ruin my videos. Also, my air compressor took a shit. So I figured it's got to be painted. I got to paint it now. So we're rolling it. And it's coming out pretty decent. Look at all that. Looking good, right? Oh, got a little run there. Boom, fixed it. Well, this is the joys of having a carport up here in the Great Northwest when you have wind and fucking rain. Is a brand new paint job gets covered in this bullshit fucking rain. I mean, it looks like shit. The fucking rain it ruined it. I mean, it was already a shitty paint job, but now it was a crappy paint job. Now it's a shitty paint job. That's how I should put it. It's fucking bullshit. I hate this. This is why I'm saving every dime to buy a fucking house with a shop. I'm sick and tired of this. Yeah, rent's cheap here, but I can't afford to keep having fucking projects turn shit. This is bullshit. Look at that shit. Motherfucker. You see what that is? That's a fucking dildo sticking out of my tire. I was having trouble with the overdrive staying in overdrive. It was slipping a lot out. So what I did was I put a zip tie. First I did wire. I wrapped wire around that. And that helped, but we still had some slipping every now and then. Meaning, you know, once you gave it a little bit of gas, it would couldn't find the right gear. So I put this zip tie on there, and boom, that solved it. But we had harsh shifts in the morning taking off. So like from first to second, and even second to third, it was pretty rough. It was bam, bam. Okay, I mean, you could feel it shifting, but you want quick shifts. You don't want slow, smooth shifts. Slow, smooth equals friction, and friction equals heat. Now, that's what I got in this. Now, I did not tow the tractor back in overdrive. I towed it back in drive, but driving down there was in drive because I didn't have a trailer or anything on me. Now, I was desperate for more power, so I even flipped this. I know I'm sucking in a bunch of hot air, but I was desperate, man, because those hills are badass coming out of California and Oregon. But I burnt the transmission fluid. Now, it doesn't look that bad, but it is. It stinks. It smells like ass. So I got to do a flush on it. Now, there's two ways of doing it. One is you can like drop the pan and do all kinds of weird bullshit and try to get it all out. And the other one's cut this. And you can loop the system and pump in new fluid. As you pump out, take the other one, just take it off. So as you're pumping in new fluid, the old fluid's coming out into a bucket until you wait till it comes out nice and red. Nice, clear, fucking unstinky red. Now this truck, I kid you not, gave me no trouble. Not one lick of trouble. This motherfucking thing ran sweet. Now we did have a code on the dash come up. It said that the EGR valve was not doing its thing. It wasn't working right. Now, honestly, I could feel that. It would actually steal power, the EGR valve, when it was getting stuck. I don't know why, but the motherfucking thing is hiding right here. That's it. The stupid thing would the plunger or the diaphragm, I don't know, maybe that's tore. And I thought it was new. Maybe it's not. It's giving me problems. So that's like a $25 piece there. I might just get it, just so that code quits coming up on the dash every now and then. It'll come up and then it clears itself. And then it comes up and clears itself. I'm tired of that. Never overheated once. Battery stayed charged the entire time. Like I said, engine, they never burned any oil. Oil's still good. Fucking thing is smooth as silk. It's like a sewing machine, man. This thing is fucking nice. Now, this boot did tear. It wasn't like that when I purchased it. I would have noticed that, but we got a tear. It finally tore. I don't know why. It doesn't do anything. It looks like shit now, but you know, no grease or nothing's coming out. The steering's still tight. Fan belt though too. The fan belt started. This was a brand new fan belt. We lost a layer for some reason. It just started unwinding and fraying, and now it's gone. Now it's perfectly smooth, like it was cut perfect. So I'm gonna roll with it. I don't know what it was touching, but somehow that fucked up. All in all, it is a good truck with 164,000 miles on it now. The stereo works, everything else works in it great. You know, Meth Heads, they took good care of it. Got back from my, all the way down to Ontario, California and back. So all I can say is it's a good truck. I'm going to be sad when it's gone, but there's plenty more out there. You got to remember that. There are trucks and cars and quads and all that. They're dime a dozen. Dime a dozen. I got to get that motherfucker out of the back too. You are so beautiful to me. I guess I can do a sneak peek. See, there's a sneak peek right there. That's all you get to see. Now the tractor runs. I don't know if I posted that on Facebook or not, but it is running sweet. Nothing was wrong with it other than the guy. I might show you guys that in a video or on Facebook, but the guy tried to rewire the ignition. Now that's why I was having trouble starting it, and they were having trouble starting it, and I was having trouble starting it. And the other reason was it was out of diesel. This is the tank. It was totally out of diesel. Now, the website I buy from, they only do so much to try to get it running. If it don't start, then they just put broken. So I had to do this. I had to plug a hole, because when he installed his ignition, I think he drilled through this accidentally. So when I filled this up in Oregon, now you guys are probably like, why do you fill up in Oregon? Because I like to be a renegade. I like to pull in and try to fill up my shit before they catch me. And plus the gas prices, I shit you not, gas and diesel in Oregon is like cheaper than California and Washington. Washington and California are the two craziest motherfucking states. So I'm like, I got to get the fuck out of here. So when I'm in Oregon, I fill up with whatever I can. And so all I did was I plugged it, I put an O-ring on the back side of this. When I buried it, the O-ring got smashed, and then I also put some goop hockey on there. That should, when that dries, I can put that tank back in, but really I need to pressure wash everything. That tractor's got a lot of this red dirt, clay, dust from California. Well, I hope you enjoyed my videos. And here's the buggy. If anyone wants to take this thing off my hands, you're more than welcome to. I'm kind of giving up on it. You know, I want to come back to it, but time, man, time is money, and I just can't sit on something that I'm not going to sell and fuck around like that pile of shit. So enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching.